And just like every other time, we are back. My name's Charbel. Milan. Today we got,
7 a.m. What's up, man?
and this is a time shared, man. So just to get you up to speed, this is a time shared, the one and only podcast that's out here trying to bring light to people like yourself, people who are killing it, people who are really trying to push their own way and, pave a future and just take a different path. So before we get going, if you just want to get the people up to speed on what you do, what you got going on, and just, everything they should know about you before we get going.
What's up? My name is 7 a.m. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I sing, rap, produce, engineer, all that fun stuff. I just actually recently dropped an album called Relapse. So if you haven't checked that out, feel free to do so. It's hard, trust me. Yeah, man, I'm just kind of an artist of all facets. I do a little bit of everything, but my focus is definitely this music.
So this is kind of a generic question, but just to get the energy flowing. What made you get into music? At what point in time did you realize that was going to be your passion?
Church.
Really?
I grew up, and you want to smoke this?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. I grew up in church. My grandfather was a pastor. So I just, especially if you ever been to a black church, it's music heavy. It's a song for everything. So I ended up playing in the church, playing the piano, tried to pick up the drums. Unfortunately, my hands and feet aren't coordinated enough for that. But I picked up the strings a bit. So I kind of just was playing for him because, he didn't want to pay musicians. So I just learned to play stuff in the church. And then singing wise, I was always in chorus. I was always in drama, doing something like that. So, and also playing sports. So like I said, I was a little bit of just everywhere. But as far as music, it was always the thing that brought me the most joy. Because I was just, I was just so used to being around so many other people doing so many things from the sports to the acting, so I had so many avenues that I could have took, but it's just, this is the one that kind of called to me. It wasn't really a decision. It just happened organically. So I'm here.
That's the best is when you're not looking for it and then it finds you.
Every time I try to step away, it just bring me right back.
Bet. So, we checked out Sober 2017, really fucked with 1111. That was my favorite.
Thanks,
But we know
man.
you recently just dropped Relapse, right?
Yeah.
So how far before Sober was the whole like church thing? Was that like as a kid or?
That was a kid.
Oh, so I was a
Yeah,
kid.
I was a kid. I did build and dabble in, going back into church and playing like high school, and then middle school. I was in like chorus and stuff, and then we had a church choir at the school I tried to get into. So it was a lot of back and forth with the church and music. Because originally that's where I started. So, thanks, man.
So it was the type of thing where you just kind of found yourself in there, and then next thing you know, you're like, damn, like I kind of want to do this personally. Like, how long were you involved in the church before you were kind of like, I don't know, I kind of want to push something that's not really
Man,
gospel.
I told my mama when I was 5 years old I wanted to be an R&B singer. And she's responded, R&B singers don't make no money. She don't say shit like that no more, but I always wanted to. Because I grew up listening to Otis Redding. I grew up listening to Smokey. I grew up listening to a lot of old school R&B. My favorite vocalist is James Brown. Just most people don't even know that man had a beautiful voice, but they get so caught up in the hey now, there's like the funky part of him, but he's an all around just talented individual. So I grew up listening to that because I wasn't allowed to listen to rap. I didn't listen to rap till I was like actively like 11, 12. So when I snuck my first my Biggie CD, and that's when I got into hip hop. So that was my first hip hop CD. Was Biggie.
Damn. So you mentioned a really good point. You said like the R&B just kind of like comes in and it starts at energy and it gets it going, and it's almost like a high, bro, where you're driving and you're like, you know what? I could do this. Like when the song comes on, it almost hits different.
Yeah.
So were you shooting to create that for somebody else because you felt that yourself?
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of just trying to deliver a vibe and like a massive vibe, like from the way I'm saying it coming in, I want it to like captivate, So like a lot of times when I'm creating music, I'm thinking to myself, what is the dopest thing, not that I could possibly do, but like, what do I hear? What's the dopest thing that I would hear someone else do on this? Like I have my own style and stuff, but it's just a real thing. I think that's a great way for artists to think outside the box. It's not just be caught up in their own, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if you were hearing this, what would you want to hear?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
And
like
that's
third
it's a
person.
different way of creating because I never fall victim to my own artistry. That's why it's always just expanding because I'm experimenting with myself, and I feel like that's kind of what I try to deliver. That's why like the songs just have a wide range of emotions and feelings, and because I don't box myself when I create. I just create. There's no focus for me. It's just it's literally free. Like I start from beginning to end. I don't just write hooks or write a verse. No, I just start from the time the song starts playing to the end. I create it from there, just like that.
Like a flow state.
Just a flow state.
Yeah.
One linear creation from beginning to end, and that's how I create music.
It's almost like a story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you dropped Sober in 2017, right? How was that received initially versus like over time? Because I know like over time shit hit really hard, but how was it at first? Because I know, dropping the first project, being
Yeah.
a new artist, you're putting your feet into the water and you're looking to see what you got going on.
It was surprisingly like really accepted. I mean, it took a while. Of course, it took because I'm independent, so to speak. I got an indie label, but we don't have major budgets or like money to just put it everywhere. Like so I had to make sure because I was Sober got created after I was already like 2+ deep in songs, 200 and something songs deep. Then I made Sober because it was like I had to create, and then I kept falling like, oh, you sound like such and such, or you're not. That would irk me, And then eventually I had to learn to just cope with like you're gonna sound like the influences that you have in your life, but I just didn't want it to be like you're in that moment sound, because then that's not going anywhere. It's gonna be right there, and then when that sound changes, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
I know
Like,
exactly what
you know
you
what I'm
mean.
saying? So I
Yeah.
didn't want to fall victim to that. So I was like, the only way I can do that is if I like completely get in my bag and do something new, different, And that's kind of where my vision was for Sober. So it I wanted it to be transcending. I wanted it to last. Like even when I'm gone, I want this to still be able to, because that's the beautiful thing about old music. Like you can listen to it whenever, and it's always good. It always brings and resonates those feelings that you felt when you first heard it. It's just beautiful, beautiful music. So that's kind of what I try to create. Even with my little sauciness that I throw in there, I just wanted to, especially with writing, I wanted to have an impact.
Damn. So you didn't want to get stuck in the era.
Didn't want to get stuck in
Just
the
wanted
air.
it to flow.
Yeah.
So when did it start building up steam, you could say, after Sober? Like what was like a major event where you were like, okay, this is my
It
thing?
wasn't even an event. It's like what happened was it kept getting picked up. And that was the thing, like, because I came with that mentality, the music was really good. It was different, but because I'm just a different individual, but it was good. Like I made sure that I created something that people would listen to. You know what I'm saying? And like I didn't have to force them to. Like they would organically go to it. Like when you hear it, it's the same way we share music now. You hear something dope, you just naturally start playing it.
Right.
And you're playing it around people. You know what I'm saying? And then someone's gonna ask you, who is this? That happens hundreds and thousands of times eventually, it kind of it's kind of does what it's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So it really didn't it was no one thing. I mean, I guess the biggest, if I had to pick one, would be the Joe Budden podcast. He put me on his podcast and somebody sent it to me. I didn't even know. He was a fan and was just listening to the music.
He just shouted it out.
And he just played it. Said this is
Damn.
one of his favorite songs right now. And he played a song off my album.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was like, holy shit. I was kind of like the next week is 200,000 plays. Just went up like that.
That's crazy, man. So
Yeah.
how did that make you feel? It was almost like that mindset you had when you were initially making the music was
Yeah.
right because it was received the way you wanted it to be received.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess it was kind of weird, especially like Germany is kind of where I popped off too. So that was wild to me because I never thought, you know what I'm saying? You create music in a dorm. That's where I started. So I didn't think that it would, and especially the speed in which it got over there. It got picked up in a playlist, and then they started putting it in playlists overseas. So I got hella fucking Germans following me and like sending me messages asking me to translate the music. And like,
What?
yeah, it got kind of surreal. Like I was sending chords and stuff to artists overseas. And yeah, it's wild. So like that's my biggest fan base. It's not even here. It's overseas.
It's in Germany.
It's in Germany. It's in Argentina. It's in
That's kind of fire though,
Spain.
bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Because this is like almost you could say one of the music capitals of America,
Yeah.
yet it wasn't even received
It
here.
wasn't received here. But I knew that. I knew that it wasn't going to be at first. And I wasn't like I'm from Bankhead. Like a lot of people don't even know that. I'm from the west side of Atlanta. And I don't sound like it. You know, so that alone was a conflict, you know, in Atlanta 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like Atlanta had a sound. It still has a sound. But nothing was coming out of Atlanta that was like, except for Black. Black was the only thing that came out of here like that that was really well received. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, cause he's different. He's
He
dope.
wasn't afraid to
He
express
wasn't
emotion.
afraid of it. And it was
Yeah.
dope because it's like, you know, I've been the way I am for so long, but I'm glad that artists like him pop. I'm glad, you know what I'm saying, that people accepted something that wasn't the norm. And it's becoming a trend. You know what I'm saying? So it opens the door for cats like me that's, you know what I'm saying, just been waiting for people to just be like interested. Because it don't really take much but for you to be interested. You know what I'm saying? It takes like, what was that or what is that? Most people they don't even know if they like it because they don't pay it attention because they have no interest in it.
This is a weird perspective, right?
Yeah.
But I just thought of it because you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you almost feel like, especially in Atlanta, there's a type of culture where people are kind of scared to go into genres like type of music you like to make, type of
Yeah.
music like Black, because people have this mentality here that you got to walk around as a fucking killer, or I mean, you know what I mean? The whole 21 Savage mindset, which there's
No,
nothing wrong with. It's
real.
hype.
That's real. I mean, especially like because like I said, I'm from the hood, so you know what I'm saying. Like I got some street homies, I got some college homies. I'm well versed in all of the you know the areas of pretty much society. You know what I'm saying, and the different people that are in it. Like I'm cool with everybody. Like there's no specific friend of mine. You know what I'm saying. So it's I could see when people were fucking with it and when they weren't. And I could see the groups that were fucking with it and the ones that weren't. And I could say that the ones that weren't specifically were the Black Hollywoods of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like the Cloud Chasers, the Love and Hip Hop ones. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that made it difficult because they didn't know who I was already. And then when they heard it, it didn't sound like anything else they had already heard. So they were just like, I mean, I like it, but
I don't want to play it in the car around the homies.
Yeah, I'm not going to post it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And but see, like that right there holds a lot of artists like us back. But it's a timing thing, man. It really is. Like I never was upset at it. Like, and it wasn't one of the things like, well, you can't say I suck. But you're not everybody's cup of tea. And that's just real. And a lot of people just gotta accept that. You're not gonna be everybody's favorite. You know, and that's real. Like, but I just make sure no one can say your shit sucks. That's the best thing you can do as an artist. Is just be the best you can be.
That's what I realized recently when Juice, they finally posted all his shit, and he had that song with The Weeknd, and I fuck with The Weeknd heavy, you know what I mean? And I played it around some friends. One of my friends put me onto it. I was playing it, and you know, like people I never thought would vibe to it were vibing to it. And it just kind of is the type of thing where once you put it on the table, people are like, "Oh yeah, I love The Weeknd. I love Black. I love." But then if you're like, "Oh, what's your favorite music?" People want to shoot for like NBA YoungBoy. People want to shoot. They want to put on this persona that no one's even asking for.
It's usually a lie. I mean, because how many people do you know are just okay being outside the box? You know what I'm saying? It's not, I mean, and they'll look it, but they don't think it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to look a certain way. And, you know, like even my style, like the skinny jeans, the Vans, you know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't cool when I was doing it. The face piercings, the face tattoos, the gauges, that shit wasn't cool when I was doing it. That shit was weird. I got called gay a lot just because I was like saucy. But like,
doing you.
Yeah, but like at a younger age, like 16. This is like 2010.
Oh shit.
You feel me? So it's like I've been doing this. I'm 28 now. I just turned 28 on the 19th. So, you know what I'm saying? Like still young, but still I've been here long enough to see the changes. And also Slick beat some of the changes, you know? So it's real interesting what you'll see people like when they think it's okay to like it.
Right.
When everybody, and they feel like it's a cool thing now, then it's like, okay, nah, it's not. It's just different. Like, oh, okay. I'm glad you guys are out of the box now. But like I said, a lot of people look out of the box, but really they trap up here. And I mean, and that really just, like I said, it's the interesting. You won't even look into it, and it'll be right in your face. How many albums you see that you don't click on? How many posts you see of people's music that you just be like, eh? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have interest in it. You don't know if that was good or not. You know what I'm saying? People don't even try. They
That's a
don't
good
try.
perspective, man.
They don't try, man. And that's why you got people that try to do shit like gimmicks. A lot of people try to be gimmicky artists because they want that initial factor, like, oh, what was that? You know, like just because they did something crazy or, you know what I'm saying? They try to get stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, those cats kind of pop a little sooner too because, you know, like they did, like even when Thug came out, fucking love Thug, but Thug was wearing a dress.
You're wearing a dress, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm
I
saying?
kind of fuck with that though, cause he,
Yeah, but it was smart. It was fucking genius.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
fucking genius. Because one, he's so much of a fucking thug, you ain't gonna say shit. You're not gonna try him. But it's like it perplexes you. It's just like, man, because you know he did it because it made him pop. Like he did a lot of shit in the beginning of his career that was just like he different. And but like people like him also opened the door. You know what I'm saying? For people to accept things that weren't always the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, Jaden Smith was the face of what was it, Louis Vuitton's woman clothing. He was the face.
you
I
know
think it
what?
was Louis Vuitton. I think so. It was one of those hot, but he had a whole shoot in line that was just he was endorsed by it, and it was the woman clothing.
That's kind of hard.
That's it, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
kind
So
of
it's
hard.
dope to see like those boundaries are just pushed. You know what I'm saying? The doors are open for you to be whatever the fuck you want now, and that's dope.
And plus, for Young Thug wearing a dress, man, especially a person like him, his background, his lifestyle, I kind of feel like that's like another level of confidence.
It is.
Like, fuck you. Like,
It's a
I don't care.
super fuck you.
Yeah, I don't care if you think I'm gay. I know I'm not gay. I'm wearing a dress. Shit's fine. Fuck with it.
It's super, and that's also the thing. Like, who gives a fuck if a nigga's gay or not? Why you care?
Exactly.
Like,
Why are you worried about someone else's life,
yeah,
bro?
like nah. What's dope is dope, and motherfuckers dope.
Right.
That's all that matters. So focus. That's what I try to focus on. Just being dope.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
So sober drops, and then you had like 3 years, and then you dropped Relapse, right?
Mhm.
So during those 3 years, building up to the next album, you had the Joe Budden thing, you had a lot of traction building. What was the mindset behind the next one? Like, what was your idea to take it to the next level?
As far as relapse,
Yeah.
so I create in bulk. So like by the time sober was done and out, I had like four more. Like I created, like I just kept creating projects of stories. So relapse, like sober mentality was me. Like the story of sober is the college me. It was the finally making a decision to pursue music and all the relationships. The voicemails were actually like real exes. Like, yeah, like
It's
real
real.
relationships, real arguments, real, you know what I'm saying? And it was dope to be able to like, cause those were what made me into me. So that's why the last song Solo was like, all right, fucking this, whatever. Like I'm done with it all. I'm gonna just focus on this grind. And that's what I did for some years. And just kind of, did my thing and then just only focused on the music. So I had a chance to really get to know myself as an artist. Um, Coming into Relapse, so much shit has transpired between 2017 and 2020. And Relapse is like me falling back into my own bullshit. Like I was good. And then yeah, I fell back into it with the drugs, the partying, the woman, I had a kid. Like so much shit happened. Man, I had two kids, shit. So much has happened between that time. And I wanted to tell the story of my plummet. Cause I did plummet. Like I was good. I got out of my fuck shit. Sober was me putting shit down. Sober was me getting focused, hustling on this music, and then like relapse is like, okay, yo, so shit didn't go as I planned.
Hit the relapse.
Yeah. So I literally fell back into my own bullshit of just toxicity. And relapse just I wanted it broadcast that. From the beginning, like the knock knock is me knocking on the door of like losing the love of my life. That's some real shit. That happened. You know what I'm saying? Like pleading, the kind of self-loathing, all of that was in like the beats are dope. They sound, you know what I'm saying? Everything sounds dope, but it goes from the elevation of that. Like and then I fell back in love. So that's when you start to hear like there's love songs on Relapse. So like it went from heartbreak to fall in love and kind of just where we're at now. So, my relationship now is amazing, but shit, we went through a lot.
Hey, man.
To get here, it took a lot.
You gotta go to the next level or you don't. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
They think that, you know what? it's just gonna be all about going out, having sex, doing this, doing that. It gets
Nah.
serious, and if you're not ready to go to the next level,
Yeah.
it shows.
I'm actually happy at my development and, even the restraints and constraints I've had in my career. I'm happy that they happen because real shit, if you would have gave me 1 million off of sober and said, here, you got everything you don't work for right now because this is so dope, I would have fucking been dead somewhere, bro, to be real with you. Probably would have snorted half that money away and then just blew the rest. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Yeah,
just where I was at.
right.
So I'm happy to be the man I am now versus the kid I was then. And I feel like the music is a clear representation of like I feel my prime now. This is my prime. And it's dope. And it's like my prime is gonna last probably like good, maybe 5 years. I'm gonna enjoy and just push out classics as much as I can. And then I got so many other things I want to do and focus on. But I got the next album's even crazier than Relapse. Like I have like 4 more just sitting, just ready to shoot out, man.
It sends a message because it's almost like, all right, you can start strong, you can have fuck ups, but you can still come
Hmm.
back and come up.
Yeah,
And that's honestly what people need to hear, man. Because what happens is they hit the relapse and they're like, that's it for me. I fumbled the bag.
yeah.
I fucked my shit up.
It's
But
not the case.
exactly.
It is the case if you let it be the case. I mean, because everybody fucks up. Hell, I think all my friends went through the same retrograde. Was crazy for a lot of people. I think all my friends went through a fucked up period around the same time. And and a lot of times we make our fucked up periods worse because we're like fucking just throwing toxins on top of toxic spirit. You know what I'm saying? So like it doesn't help you heal. And you go ahead and shoot your serotonin down and you're already depressed. You go ahead and stop your endorphins from, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what
Right.
you're doing. Like, cause we're young and we just get fucked up. We go through some shit. Fuck it. I'm gonna go get fucked up. I'm gonna drink tonight. Fuck it. I'm gonna pop some. You know what I'm saying? We do shit like that and it doesn't help you heal. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our stagnation, as far as development is just based off of how we deal with our issues. So I'm glad that I got to a point where I just learned to deal with them. Because getting fucked up and self-loathing don't deal with your issues. You don't. You got to be naked. You got to be bare. You know what I'm saying? You got to take off all of that bullshit and look at yourself. And then you can really ask yourself the questions and answer them. But if you just getting fucked up and expecting shit to just work itself out, nah, it takes work to fix your life. It takes work to be successful. It takes work to be healthy. Shit ain't easy. Getting fucked up is easy.
Yeah. You got to put effort.
It's a call away, my nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, um, I think that it's a great time for especially like a lot of people scared of COVID, right? A lot of people, and it's a real thing. It's dangerous out here. I'm praying that most people are everybody's doing a smart thing, you know what I'm saying, and taking precautions. But like, there's also reset a lot of people's lives. Like sitting your ass down got a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, just together. And I could say, hell, I'm one of them. It's Relapse when it even came out. If it wasn't for, you know, COVID and shit just slowing things down. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was just moving, about to crash into a wall. So we all headed just crashing into these brick walls of just bullshit that we was dealing with on a day to day. So glad I got to reassess and there's a clear destination, clear path. I'm in a way different spot, you know what I'm saying, than I was last year. Hence, you know, the new music and just like if you would have did this interview last year, it would have been way different.
How so?
The person you would have been talking to wouldn't have been this happy. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even care, bro. I probably would have been fucked up. Or like coming down from being fucked up and just like I probably would have forgot and you would have called. Like it just would have not have been, like this vibe. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I definitely appreciate where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate that. Like I wouldn't have took I shouldn't I'm glad I didn't get that million when I wanted it because it one time.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what a lot
Mhm.
of people are starting to realize is you're watching certain people blow up and they're taking off. They're buying 3, 4 chains, they're buying iced out watches,
Yeah, man.
cars, going to the club every night. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. It's like, okay, and this is, I've been thinking like this a lot more recently. You gotta live like I could die today. I could die in 5 minutes. I could die when I'm 80.
Yeah.
But there's some people that are walking around, bro, that are really comfortable. Like
Yeah.
they're over here thinking they're gonna make it to 40, 50. Who are you to think you're blessed with 40, 50
Yeah.
years, bro?
Nah.
Like you gotta live your life like it's every day and whatnot. Yeah. But at the same time, you can't fuck your life up by living every day.
But why is living to the fullest, you know, or so to speak, living like, you know, it's your last have to be so fucking toxic?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that? Why is killing yourself our definition of living more? You know what I'm saying? And I had to really ask myself that, like, why do I think that that's turned? Like, I've achieved nothing. I've, like, me having a feeling of euphoria ain't living to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Like, because life's just so much more than you having fun. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
feel like
that's,
it's a stage.
yeah,
It's like a testing period. You
yeah.
make it to the next part or you don't. Because let's be real, man. There's no one out here who's the CEO of a Fortune 500 company popping sands every day. There's nobody who's dropping album after album fucking. You got to be sharp.
It
There's
takes
there's times
work.
to play and then there's times to be sharp. And a lot of people they think that once they make it to a certain level and they see a certain amount of money for the first time, it's time to play.
Nah,
I
I
can
can
play
fuck off.
forever.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
fuck off. They fuck off. And I mean, it's also a big thing, like the point that you were making about those CEOs or like even the big time artists and so you really think that they popping pills and drinking lean like that? There's no physical possible way for them to be successful, run a business, keep their endorsements, you know what I'm saying, collect their money, not miss their shows, and do that because as a real life, like used to be drug addict. No. I missed hella shit because I was hungover.
right.
That's just real. Like, so it's also, and that's why when I talk about drugs, man, I talk about, you know, like telling my story. I'm not promoting that shit. I'm telling you a story. I'm not telling you to go out and do none of this shit. Like, but I've done it. So I'm gonna tell you the story about it. And half the time, I don't be saying like it's a good thing. I never say it like it's a good thing. You know, it's just like there's just a happy medium, bro. It's a happy medium. And I'm finally finding it and understanding like the shit that I listen to in music definitely didn't help me like understand how real life works. Like, cause it's, you know, you hear a bunch of talking about partying and fucking bitches and taking niggas like that. That shit really has aftermath to it. You know, that shit really does have a like there are consequences for these things, bro. It's not just like if you hear it in songs. It's not.
Some of them aren't true, bro. A lot of
Yeah,
these rappers are getting married.
bro. You ain't fucking nobody's
They're
bitch.
getting married, bro, and people are
Yeah,
out here ruining the relationship, thinking that they gotta be a fucking savage. They gotta fuck 12
yeah,
people. Like,
man.
don't get me wrong, man. If that's your lifestyle, if that's your rotation, and that's what you do, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you?
Hmm.
But the reality is, there's certain things that, like, I mean, unless you're Dan Bilzerian, and I'd love to talk to that guy. I don't know where his mindset is, but he seems like he's sustaining his lifestyle. So,
Yeah,
good for you.
yeah,
I'm not gonna sound like a hater, but
yeah.
for the average guy, like you're gonna
Hmm.
fuck a good relationship up over some,
Yeah,
you know
nah.
what I mean? And that's the thing.
And
That's
that's when they
another
start
thing.
making sad songs because they fucked
Exactly.
up them good relationships.
But they're listening to the music
Yeah.
and they're trying to relate. That's crazy, man. I mean, you're right.
I mean, it's just like, and a lot of people are starting to do that, like changing the narrative, or you know what I'm saying, of music in general, and how you know like the message that's being delivered. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's one thing to just like I said, tell a story. It's one thing to just talk about, you know, like a night of, but when you're literally saying like this is what I do every day. This is how I get money. You know what I'm saying? It leaves kind of like a misconception of like what's real in it. But it's like I wish people would be a little bit more real, you know what I'm saying, in their music. You know what I'm saying? I try to be as real as I can. Like if I'm talking about trapping and some shit, it's cause I was. If I'm talking about nights on drugs, it's cause I did it. Cause that's what you know what I'm saying? But that's not it's not every song. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not promoting that shit. So
Right.
I'm starting to see the narrative change with a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not people are tired of that because we are becoming more woke, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So it's and it's always cool to have a turned up song, but it's like we need to change the direction of where our message is and where it's going for
Yeah,
sure.
man. So we're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's pretty big for fucking the underground music.
Mhm.
How has it helped you as far as like networking? Like,
Um. Well, when I actually came out of the studio, because I didn't leave my studio for quite some time. Like that's the only place I went. I went to the gym. I went to work. I went to the studio, and that was my life. for years. So I probably recently started coming out like 2 years ago and got to really experience. And I was doing shows. Like I was still at department store. Many people from Atlanta remember that. Doing show.
Department store?
Uh-huh.
That's what it's called?
Edgewood, yeah.
I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I was at every spot you could think of out here, just doing open mics, doing little bar gig. I was just doing, you know what I'm saying? I was out here, but I wasn't really on the scene as far as like just going out to go out. I only went out to work. I'm a workaholic, so to speak. So when I finally got out and started to like, I didn't even realize I had as many fans in Atlanta as I did until I got out. And then I was like, "You're 7 a.m.?" Like, yo, oh, so y'all already noticed. It was dope. It was cool to see it. And it got to me to actually network with so many dope, beautiful people out here. Cause I was such a recluse because like I said, I'm a workaholic, man. I really didn't want to fuck up that album. I really wanted sober to be the shit. So I locked in for sure. But my career definitely took another step when I got on the Atlanta scene, when you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't always on the best scene in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, due to my old habits. But I was definitely blessed to meet people that got me to, you know, someone else or, you know what I'm saying? It's so many opportunities out here. Like I tell people all the time, if you broke or unsuccessful in Atlanta, bro, it's really your fault. Like real shit.
You're saying there's no reason to be
There's
broke?
no reason. Unless like it's your fault. Like it's your fault you don't have any money. And it was like when I was broke, bro, it was my fault. Cause like, bro, you gotta go get that shit. And it's cause it's out here. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I've met so many people with so many hustles, so many, and a nigga with, and as a person myself with so many hustles, you know what I'm saying? You know, finding ways to support and take care of my shit. Man, there's so many ways. It's like I'm speaking from experience. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways, bro. You can monetize on damn near everything now. So Atlanta is the place to do that, especially networking, because everybody needs something.
Yeah, that is true.
I ain't never been nowhere in Atlanta and nobody needed nothing. Think about that.
That's a good point, man.
Think
I've
about
never
that.
thought about it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs something.
Everybody needs something everywhere you go. And Atlanta's filled with people. So, of course, it's easy to make some money out here because everybody just find out what you're going to give them.
Right.
That's real. Provide a service. Like, and, you know, so it's, especially now, I like to say this to a lot of underground artists as well because the come up ain't easy. Like, you're going to be broke sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And it's coming from a being broke standpoint to like coming out of that, you know, as an artist. And my music has made some money, but, you know, like that ain't always here for me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's real bills that come with this shit. So definitely get on your hustle, man, because it makes it harder to be an artist when you got no stream of income. Real shit, because this shit ain't free. It costs. Can't tell you how much money I done spent on shows, on slots, on
Studio time?
Nah, ironically, I've never paid for studio time.
Wow.
In my life.
I have.
Yeah, no.
Shout out D3.
When I
don't
say
know if he's
that,
still doing it.
like when I say that, like everyone's just like, huh? And I've been in like I have hundreds and hundreds of songs. I just always seem to fall in these perfect little opportunities of just like either being in the right moment or just being dope enough that someone wants to let you in their studio to record because they want you to get on their beat. So I just use all those opportunities leading up to now. Or I bought my own shit. Like home studio. I home studioed it out until 2016, 2015, 16. I was home studioing it out. I had my MacBook. I had my M audio. I had my microphone. I had the blue mic. I had, you know what I'm saying? That's how I got here though. But it took me I had to work. Back to what I'm saying about the hustle. I had to work to buy that equipment. You're not going to always get studio time. You're not going to always be able to afford that, but you can save your money and buy some equipment, teach yourself how to engineer. Right. I hate when I hear artists say, man, I always wanted to learn how to do that. I just can't. Why? The reason is you don't give a fuck enough. Like when you really, really want some shit, and that's what sets like the people who make it apart from those who don't. You know what I'm saying? There's that long haul that it takes. Like I be telling people all the time, especially when they want to get into music now, it's gonna take you at least 2 years just to get your feet wet. Not damp. Like
but just wet.
Wet. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. Like, and that's quick. Like if you blow up in 2 years, you blow up quick.
Yeah.
That's quick.
So that's the time frame for you? You think it's like 2 years?
No, 2 years to get your feet wet.
So
2
when do you
years.
think is the average blow up time? And once again, I mean,
Talk to a lot of artists, man. And as somebody who's like I'm on the come up, cool, that's beautiful. But I've been doing music for 12 years. It's a long time. And when I sit back and think about it, yeah, I was a kid getting it, but I was actively taking it serious for 12 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
committed.
But see, to the I that don't know that, they see me blow up or they see my shit, then oh, he blew up in a year. He blew up in 2 years. Somebody who met me 2 years ago and they just saw me outside and I just released sober would say that I blew up in from 2017 releasing sober to whenever, I collect my big beautiful check. They're gonna say it's to that time. And that could probably be like next year. That could be the end of this year. Who knows? But my point is how they're not gonna view because they didn't see that 12 years. But that's how long it takes.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, man, it takes years, bro. Like
No one knows about.
no one knows about it, but they put in that work, bro. Like the greats. I mean, Drake been rapping since Degrassi.
Bro,
Guess
Drake
along.
is hard. Drake's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
He's the outlier, bro.
Yeah.
He kind of fucks up like the algorithm when you're trying to like look at people because he can always he's like the trump card. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I put it. My point is, before he was that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and it took him years. It takes people years, man, years and years of just putting in that work and like devoted. Just got to be devoted to your craft, man. It took the shitty jobs to pay for the shitty rent for your shitty home studio. It takes you to do. It takes you to do that, man, and. It's like for me, it's just starting to get, you know what I'm saying? I'm blessed and it's starting to get better, but I would not be here or have any of the success I've had without that grunt work, without the bullshit. Like it takes the bullshit to make, you know what I'm saying? The artist, it's the bullshit. Can't avoid it. So that's like I just wanted to throw that in there for, people that's in, that's been in my position or that are even in my position now on the come up. Like, don't stop working. Like it gets ugly. Just work through it. Work through all that ugly shit. Like it gets ugly. But you work through it. Like when you got to decide between what you gonna eat today and putting gas in your car, that's ugly.
Yeah.
But be an artist that whole time. You know what I'm saying? Don't, oh man, fuck this. Nah, because that time right there, you can't get that back.
Everyone's going through something. It's
Yeah, we
crazy.
all going through some
It's
shit.
crazy, but no one wants to admit it. And it's okay to admit it. It's okay to talk about how you feel
Yeah,
and be like real in your fucking music, to be real in your passion, whatever you do.
yeah.
So when did the show start happening? Because I know you got one on Thursday. You're opening for Lil Keep.
The bigger shows started happening probably.
What's the biggest show you'd say you did?
I did one music fest last year, so that was lit. That was super dope. Shared the stage. I was on stage with Lloyd performed, Trinidad James, Young Baby Tape, a couple other folks on the stage I was on. I was on the BMI stage, and they called me and they paid me. It was beautiful.
Holy
You know what I'm
shit,
saying? Yeah.
dude.
So it was like my first gig, and it happened to be a big one. So
Right. Getting paid.
yeah,
That's what professional is.
yeah.
Is when you can make $1 and that's still professional. You're getting paid.
Exactly. So,
So-
I mean, show wise, but I did so many little shitty shows. The shittiest. Like
Like an open mic or a
yes,
slot.
open mics, slots, showcases, just shitty. And there was a time period when I was doing shows, and most people, especially if you came up in the past, like 5 years, 6 years, and you've been grinding in Atlanta, you know that there was a bunch of showcases that were just shitty that we've paid for. There was like circus. They was running through Atlanta just eating off of artists and our fucking desire to make it.
I think
But
I know what you mean.
yeah, it was a
Selling
lot of 'em,
slots.
all the time.
So you think it was a big like scam
Yeah, it
kind
was
of?
all scam. How many people you know made it off of those?
Damn, that's so wait. Let's stop for a second. This is interesting. So pretty much the way it would work is they'd have like 5 slots. They'd probably get some like kind of big name at the very end and like run everything off him. Yo, you're opening
Mhm.
for Hood Rich Pablo One or some shit
Mhm.
like that,
And
right?
you pay for them slots.
And
You,
then
don't nothing
nothing.
come out of it for you.
You're just like a fucking idiot.
Most times nothing comes out of it for you
Damn, that's
at
fucked
all.
up. I didn't know that.
And a lot of times, like, so the biggest one was the shows where they would have like, oh, come perform for these A&Rs or these radio hosts and all that shit. That's just a money pot for them. But ain't nothing coming out of it for you. They selling you studio time. Maybe a radio slot at a time where ain't nobody listening and ain't no music playing. They're just gonna interview for a quick second, ask you some questions. Boom, it's done. That's how they was. People were paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for that. I know,
For
and the only
radio
reason I know
slot?
this, I know the
What?
cap, I know the scan that
Oh my
people
god.
was using because
You know the scammer?
I knew a couple of people that was running these shows,
Oh my
man. So I
god.
know they was just, bro, they was eating off of artists, like
It,
paying them, and they would do it like every 2 weeks, every month, and it would just be a big, like people paid to come here, like one they eating off the door. It's an event, so they
oh
gonna eat.
yeah.
Yeah, so if
Jesus
it pack,
Christ.
yeah, they eating off the door, but not only that, the artist done paid them like $500 to come perform. I'm trying to tell you, eating.
Yo, I don't mean to be an asshole, but
Yeah.
like, wait a minute. So you told me people were straight up getting that's kind of sad,
Yeah, they
man,
were getting
because
finessed.
they really thought that they're
Mhm.
networking. They're like, no, no, no,
Yep.
I'm gonna fucking make it.
Nah,
It was really a
not
scam.
one of them shows that I did or anybody I know did got them anywhere.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it seems like it will, but it doesn't because that's not how it happens. Realistically, it's not. But you don't know that that's not how it happens, especially before you do the shows or a bunch of them. Before you go through the bullshit, you don't know that that's not how it works. That's just one pit stop along the way.
But I mean,
A
if you're
$500
coming
pit
up,
stop.
if you're coming up artist, man, that I mean, five
It
hundred
sounds
dollars.
exciting, yeah. But if you're an upcoming artist, that's why the game is run by dope boys, man. That's why Atlanta is the way it is. Because who got the money to do that?
Yeah,
Dope boys,
yeah. I
the
see what you mean.
rappers. That's why the game is full of rap. Because everything costs, and it's not like R&B pays you. You know what I'm saying? Until you popping. You know what I'm saying? But hip hop can. If you talking about drugs and that, like, if the whole hip hop community is really based off of trapping. You know what I'm saying? And this drug money, then of course, and it's gonna be easy to get that slot. Cause who got 25,000 to get that DJ? Who gonna pay for them payola slots on the radio? Dope boys. You ain't paying for it. I mean, they it's there, but I'm like I said, it take money to do this. Like, it take a lot of money. Luckily, the viral shit's popped off so much for folks that you can really make yourself pop. You don't need that radio DJ or that director no
Yeah,
more.
like airtime. That's what it was all about back in the
Yeah,
day.
it's not like that no more. So the game is definitely opened up for people to be able to be majorly successful because it took out the damn gatekeepers. The gatekeepers they're not really there no more because like you can get millions of people to hear your stuff and not talk to nobody. You can do it from the comfort of your living room.
And if they like it, they like it.
You can
I
go
mean, shit,
viral.
dude, that's what we're doing right now.
You can go viral on your computer.
Right,
Just talking to folks.
right. Yep.
Like it's so, you know what I'm saying? So the game has changed. It's beautiful, man. Like I really can't wait to see how many, and that's why there's so many. I see so many dope new artists popping up all the time. I'm just like, man, this is beautiful. You know, and it's like, because I'm one of those, I'm an artist who supports artists. So like, I don't think that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just too good to talk to nobody. I listen to, bro. If you send me some music in my inbox, man, ask around. I listen. And if sometimes they're god awful. I can't even lie. They're just like, boy, I really wish you didn't send me that. But
Right.
I'm gonna listen to it. Cause you
You
never
give it time.
I'm gonna
respect
give it time.
Right.
Like, because like
Okay.
I remember being right there, posting like we talking MySpace. Like, man, kids don't even know nothing about
Top 7, bro.
Man, yeah, bro.
I
Just
remember
posting
that.
my flyer over and over and over and over and over, bro, hundreds of times. So it's like it always meant a lot to know somebody clicked on it. You know, because that takes, I mean, it's hours out your day that you just spamming, trying to get people to hear your stuff. So because I've been there and I know how that feels, I always click play. You know, I loathe the time in my career where I know I'm not going to be able to listen to everything. I loathe that because I know it's going to come. It's just going to be the more accessible you are too. You know what I'm saying? Your message is just going to keep going. It's like I'm going to get hundreds. I get a lot now, but imagine being at Drake level. You know how many messages he gets? With somebody saying, listen to my stuff.
Fuck that.
Like,
I honestly, dude, I don't think he does because it's
He
probably the
does.
phone his manager has.
Man,
There's no way that's on his personal
I don't
IG.
know. Probably it might not be on his person, but all I'm saying is that shit
You know
gets
what it
blown
is
up.
actually?
What?
So if you're certified, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't go to your messages.
Oh, if you're
So
verified.
it goes to a different. So like if you're verified and
Yeah.
I'm not verified, and I message you, it goes to a different place, and then you have to go in your own time and go to that
and
place
check
and
it.
accept my message. But if I'm verified and you're verified, if I'm not mistaken, I'll pull right up in your
Oh,
primary,
that's cool.
and you still don't gotta open it, but you see it.
But you see it, yeah.
So I think that's
cool.
what it is.
It's a cool. I didn't know that. I'll keep that. I definitely will let you know because
If someone's
once I'm
verified,
done with the verified
check me
process.
on that. I don't know. I'm not verified, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm
but I
not
read
either.
it. I read it.
I'm not either, and I
So
don't really.
are you excited for the show, man? Because
Oh, yeah, man,
where
I'm
is it at?
excited.
If someone's trying to pull up,
Saint Joe said Saint. It said Josephine's Lounge. I don't know where I was going, but yeah, it's at Josephine's Lounge, man. I'll be opening up for Lil Key. That's gonna be dope, man. I actually got funny thing. It was in my message request, which I don't usually check when I'm like doing something, but I was just like, I'll go ahead and check all my stuff, and I checked the one message request in there, and it was this dope chick who just invited me out. She's like, I like your music. It's dope as hell. You want to open up for Lil Key Thursday? I was like, yeah, sure.
so they're paying you, or is it just like
It's just for me
come doing it?
when they said something about money, as far as like selling tickets and stuff, and I'm really not. That's not why I'm doing it. So, no,
Just
I told him don't worry about that this time.
just real. It's
Yeah,
like a passion thing.
let's just let me. I'm honored to do the show. It's lit. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be people there. It's a perfect opportunity for me to get my music out there. I'm looking at it at that. You know
You
what I'm
ever
saying?
met Keed before?
No, I never met him.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
You'll meet the
exactly.
guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a fan for sure, but my goal is to go there and make all of them fans. So that's what I'm thinking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told her. I was like, I ain't worried about no money right now. I want I want to be in there and actually be in a because those are rooms, those are opportunities that literally that's how they come. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just grab them and appreciate them when they come like that because who knows what comes out of that? And it could be absolutely nothing, but it's an opportunity. So I take them all when they come, bro.
Especially if they're hitting you up, man.
Yeah, I take them
They're
all, bro.
inviting you to come perform. Are you kidding me? That's what people want.
Yeah, man, exactly. So
That's
it's
the
like
dream.
I don't give around no money. Yeah, just
Yeah,
let me
just
get on stage.
let me do it.
Let
People
me
are
do my
talking.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
let me do my thing. So
right.
I'm a longevity dude, bro. I think about most of the relationships that I build isn't because it's beneficial right now. Sometimes you build relationships because down the road that's gonna be beneficial, and you gotta look at it like that sometimes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, man. So if somebody, because I'm gonna have this out before Thursday. So if
okay.
somebody is trying to, go to that, you're selling tickets or
Yeah,
they just show up at the door?
the link is in my bio.
Is there a limit per person?
It's just 20 a ticket. I don't know. I don't know what the
No, like, are
cap.
they limiting the group size because of all this COVID shit?
They didn't say so. They
Oh,
said last week they had like 2,000 people
oh
come
shit.
out. So
Where's it at? And like, where's that area?
Buford Highway,
Buford Highway.
hmm
Oh my God.
Josephine's Lounge.
Josephine's Lounge. I feel
Yeah,
like I've
man.
heard
So
that.
if y'all interested in coming for sure, buy y'all tickets.
Holy shit, man.
Love to see y'all there, man.
Yeah,
Sure.
man. Well, hey, bro. One thing we like to leave people with is like, at the end of the day, your life, my life, whoever's listening, everyone has a different path. And I mean, it would kind of all go through the same personal development in a way, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we don't because it's all different. But what would you leave somebody with today? Not even if they're a come in artist or maybe they're, they build cars and resell them. No matter what you do, right? What is something that you would leave somebody today that's like kind of in a pit? 2020 has been a bitch and they want to hear from someone like yourself, someone who's already been there, got out, and now they're continuing to grow. What's a message you would leave people with today?
In my opinion, you know, and I don't ever say that anything is a fact. In my opinion, I don't think that you fail until you quit. So don't quit. Like the road to success is like it's filled with bullshit. It's filled with obstacles. It's filled with adversities, trials, tribulations, and sometimes that can feel like failure. But really, you're just on a uneven, bumpy ass road. But you're still going somewhere. All right, you're not broke down. You know what I'm saying? Your car, you're not in the hospital. Your engine's still running. You know what I'm saying? You're just on a bumpy ass road. And sometimes that shit, you going over potholes that makes seems like your suspension about to be fucked. Just keep fucking driving. That's my advice. Keep driving. Like, don't stop. 2020 is a bitch. Yeah, it is. It sucks. But drive through it. Drive through. You don't stop in the shitty town. You drive through it. You know what I'm saying? And when you make it out on the other side, man, 9 times out of 10, it's worth it. It's usually always worth it. So just keep driving through 2020. Keep driving through your life and get to the destination that you're trying to get to. And don't let the fucking potholes stop you, and it may slow you down. Yeah, you might have to drive slower through that terrain, but don't stop driving. That's my advice.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I know you're a very busy guy, but you took time out to do this, and I really appreciate it,
No
bro.
problem,
I
man.
just want to go ahead and thank you so much for doing this. But for anyone who's been listening, anyone who's watching right now, if you just want to take a moment, shout out like your Instagram, shout
Yeah,
out
for
where they can
sure.
find the music and upcoming things, just so they can be
Yeah.
up to speed.
Well, man, my name is 7 a.m. again. If you weren't a fan before, I hope you check me out and become a fan. I always appreciate everybody that comes through and shows love. You can find me on Instagram at the actual 7 a.m. And if you want to find my music, type in Relapse and 7 a.m. and any platform and check out that new album. All right, man. Love y'all. Thank you.
Hey, man, well, just like every other time, my name's Charbel Milan. Today we got,
7 a.m.
and this has been a time shared. Thank you.